Hey everyone, how are you? So I've been working on this full stack Angular e-commerce project for the past few weeks for my next mega tutorial slash course on YouTube. And finally, I've been able to finish up the front end part of this project. And here it is in all its glory. Okay. In this video, I'm going to take you through a brief walkthrough through all of the features of this e-commerce project and what you can expect in the next few days and weeks on my YouTube channel related to this. So our app here is a full stack e-commerce project. I've named it Modern Store, but you can actually keep your own logo or come up with another creative name if you'd like to. It is built with Angular 20, Angular Material components, and Tailwind CSS for styling. Now our initial page is something like this. It's a products grid, which is really common when you open up your e-commerce website, any typical e-commerce site. It is organized into different categories as you can see here. So you can click on different categories here and it's going to filter the product's information according to that category. Now notice, if you notice closely here, you're going to see that you have the category here in your root parameters here. So this is where Angular routing comes in. And when you have your category here, your products grid is basically derived from the category here that you get in your route. So if you have clothing here, you're going to see that we have the route parameter as this. And this is not it. So we also add another parameter, which is a query parameter. And you can actually search for stuff as well. So for example, here we want to search for wool here. And you're going to see that we're going to have a search parameter here as well. Again, derived from the URL so that it can be shared with others, just like you would have in a typical e-commerce application. Okay, and you can close the search here as well so that it goes back to the normal state. And also you are searching within different categories as well. So you don't find any smart related products in clothing, but you're going to find them in electronics. You're going to find them in maybe other categories like home and all. You'll find two products here related to smart. You can then disable this. Now the products here are filtered and all of the state is maintained using the NGRX signal store, which is a lightweight store and my personal favorite for state management in Angular. And in case you haven't noticed though, when we were changing the categories, you will see this nice transition effect. And this is basically your view transitions API. So if, for example, you go from all to accessories here, you're going to see that two cards basically just shift positions, just like you would change the layout and add and subtract different things on the UI. Now this is all automatically using the view transitions API. And speaking of view transitions API, once you click on a product here, product card, you're going to see it in action again. So you can see here that the product image basically expands into this, and you can see the root is now the detail of a specific product. So this is sort of the best use case for view transitions, and you can see it beautifully implemented in this application. Alright, so in the details page then you have the more detailed information about different products, including the reviews, the view, the prices, the description, and then a section here in which you can specify the quantity to add to the cart. And you also have a heart icon to actually add it to your wish list. Below this, you have a nice customer reviews section and the customer reviews just like you would have on a normal e-commerce site. Now in the review section, we can't write a review as yet because you're actually not signed in, but more on that in later. And you can see that we have an add to cart and a heart icon here. So let's say we don't want to add this to the cart as yet, but we can add it to the wish list here. You can see we have a nice notification here. This is using the ng expert hot toast library, which is a very nice notification library for Angular. And once we add our things to a wish list, this product to the wish list, you'll see that we have one indicator appearing on the heart icon here. This heart icon represents the wish list page, and we can now go back and let's say we want to add more products to our wish list. You can see that we can click on this and it's going to add more to this wish list here. We can see you can click on this, and you can see that we are having different products here. Okay, so let's say we want to see how many products we have in our wish list. So we're going to click on the wish list here, and we have a similar product grid here. Now the difference here is that we can move to cart, not add to cart here. And we can also delete these items from the wish list. So once it's removed, you get a notification and you can see that the item number is removing. So all of the UI is really reactive. And as you can see, it is all derived from an NGRX signal store, which will be sort of the highlight of my whole tutorial because it's going to show how easy and convenient it is to maintain state in your Angular application. Okay, so let's say we want to add now these items to my cart and I want to buy them. So we can also move this item to the cart using this button here. And now you can see that the cart also has an item. And of course, we can also clear our wish list if you like to, but I'm not going to show that here. So we can continue shopping and we can also add to cart from here. So we can also add to cart from this. For example, we added this to the leather watch, and we can also go in detail and we can add to cart from here as well. Let's say we want to add 2 of these, and you can see that we have 4 here, a total of 4 products here. Great. And if you, for example, check out an out of stock product here, if you click on this, you're going to see this indicator here and it's going to be disabled. You can't really add it to your cart. Great. So now we can go in your add to cart, click on this, and you're going to see a cart page here, which has a nice wish list item here. It's going to show all of the items in your wish list, and it's going to show your products one by one and your total, which is all reactive here. So you can now increase the quantity here, and you're going to see the total calculated is increasing. This is all the power of signals and computed and combined with the NGRX signal store. Okay. You can also shift some of the products. For example, I don't have enough budget for my smart TV, so I'm going to shift this to the wish list again, and it's going to shift this to the wish list, you can see here. But if you, for example, are feeling like you need to spend more, you can add all of them to the cart as well. So there's no item to the wish list, and now you can directly buy them from here. Okay, great. So you have all of these, and now you can then proceed to checkout here. Now, once you click on proceed to checkout, you're going to be given a sign in dialog here. This dialog you can also come in when you click in from here, but this is mandatory when you want to proceed to checkout, because you usually need user information before you can actually go on to complete the checkout process. So you have some dummy information here, and here we're going to be faced with our first form. So this is where I'm going to explain about Angular forms and how to implement them currently. What is the latest best practice for it? Of course, eventually we are going to shift this to signal forms, but currently it is reactive forms. Okay. Good. And if you don't have an account, we can also click on sign up here, and you're going to go to a sign up dialog where we can do that. Now we're going to leave that here, and we're going to go back to sign in, and we're just going to click on sign in now. And once you see sign in, you're going to see this the user has been logged in here like this. You can also sign out if you'd like to from here, but I'll just like to continue with the checkout process. Okay. So for the checkout, we are finally on the checkout page, and now we can add our shipping information here. This is also a form. This is, you can see, the layout has been altered, and according to my own taste, I wanted a sort of a less density layout for my material design component. So I've used those, and I'm also going to show you how we can actually do that for our project. And then for payment options, we're just using Stripe at this point. Okay, we're going to there's a nice summary here, and then we're going to do place order. Okay, so now we are taken to the order success route here, which is sort of the route in which we are going to come back from the Stripe payment page if the payment succeeds. And now there will also be a failure page, but I haven't shown that here because it's difficult to recreate this in this case. Okay, and this is where the backend comes in. So I'm going to tell you more about the backend that I plan, but in a bit. Okay, so we can click on continue shopping, and we can go back, and you can see now your add to cart is cleared. The state has been cleared because you have already completed an order. Okay, great. So now when you completed an order and you have bought something and you have tried it out, now you can go back to this. For example, if you have bought the headphones here, you can go back down here, and because you are logged in, now you're going to see write a review section here. So you can now give a user review. You can say that the product was really nice, and you can give another review. 3 points stood out. Okay, and you can give 4 stars here, and you can submit the review. Once you submit the review, you're going to see that this automatically changes the review, the rating, and you can see that your review appears now down here, just like all of the other reviews, with your username, with your user profile pictures. Okay, and you go back, and then you come back here again, you're going to see this again. So this is now stored in your NGRX signal store in the original product data. Okay, so this is a short breakdown of all of the features that we are going to be covering in the tutorial. And this sort of covers the whole flow of a typical e-commerce application. Now, I was surprised myself about how much we have to learn if we actually get to build such a project. So for the tutorial itself, the front-end part shown here in this walkthrough is going to be completely free, released starting in the next few days. I'm going to start releasing the parts one by one, and I'll try to package it into different parts based on different Angular concepts. So maybe one for content projection, dependency injection, and all of the other features of Angular that you need to know about, the tips and tricks that you need to know about. And I'm going to give a bit of theory and then a bit of practical implementation so that we can build a feature using that. Now the backend is not added as yet, as you can see here, but I do plan to add it. And in that respect, I'd like really like some feedback from you guys about it. So I plan to use a modern stack for the backend, and I plan to use for the authentication part, I plan to use Clerk for authentication, and for the backend DB and server functions, I plan to use Convex DB and Convex functions for that purpose. And then obviously for payment integration, I want to use Stripe because that's a standard nowadays. I do plan to release it, but it would only be as a premium course offering on my own website. So if you'll be interested in something, do let me know in the comments if you're interested in a more complete package. And I will be sure to incorporate all of that in my premium paid course related to this. Also, if you feel that there are some features missing or you want to see some features in the front end part as well, do let me know in the comments. I really want to make it into a more useful course covering a 0 to hero Angular transformation so that you can build real projects like this on your own. So that's it for now, and I hope I have covered most of it, and I hope you are as excited as I am to start work on this tutorial, and I hope you're gonna enjoy it on my YouTube channel. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully, when I publish the first part of this tutorial.